Today we're at Mablethorpe Camping and Caravanning Club site, and we're in the latest addition to the Auto Trail V-Line range, their van conversion lineup. It's based on the Fiat Ducato in extra long wheelbase form, 6.36 metres long therefore. Standard engine, 115 bhp, which is adequate if not sparkling. It's also got familiar V-Line touches, the alloy wheels, the awning, silver metallic paint and the underslung gas tank. So what's new about this 634 model? Well, it's all about having features which you perhaps wouldn't expect in a van conversion. In this case, about the fridge. And there it is, all 142 litres of it. That is the key feature of this van. In a van conversion, normally you get some like 90 litre fridge, and it would be one of the lower models that would be designed to fit under a kitchen counter. This one, you've got masses of space, 15 litre freezer at the top, slide out bottle rack at the bottom, much more independence from shopping regularly. The only downside to it is that with this full height furniture immediately behind the cab, if you're tall, say much taller than me, I'm 5'10", if you're much taller than that, then you will just need to double check that you can get completely comfortable in the driving seat, because obviously on this seat is how I have it, and it's right up against the bulkhead here. This seat only goes round, as you can see, 90 degrees. This one goes the full 180. Probably the most comfortable thing to do is to sit here and put your feet up over here. If you sit alternatively in this seat, however, your feet do rather dangle. But if you want somewhere to put your coffee, although there's no table, you can use the kitchen worktop extension. The other new feature for 2019 is this touch screen head unit. It's not standard, you have to have the media pack to get this, and that adds £1,149 to the list price. But it does include sat-nav, it gives you reversing camera, that comes on automatically when you select reverse gear, and there's DAB radio as well. The media pack takes basically the list price from 51 grand or just under to, in round figures, 52 grand. And you also get, with the media pack, the TV aerial and an 18.5-inch flat screen TV in the rear lounge. For a start, you've got a 3-burner cooker, not just 2, and then integrated oven and grill combined underneath. Plenty of worktop, both here and on this extension panel. Decent sized sink, 800-watt microwave, and then even the storage is quite good in that you've got plenty of drawer space. 1, 2, 3, 4 drawers. Admittedly, down the bottom here, they're just cupboards and you will have to grovel around to get in those. And it's quite nice when you're preparing dinner here to have this big view out through the sliding door when it's open. The only downside of that is that the bugs can come in and join you because there's no fly screen on that opening. As you'd expect, opposite the kitchen is the washroom, and the aisle between the two is a reasonable size, unlike some. So there's a nice modern interpretation of a tip-up and fold-away wash base, and that works quite well. And there's a reasonable amount of storage in the mirror-fronted cabinet. Negative points, well, when you're on the loo, the position of the shower control is not ideal. It does rather dig into your ribs. And then when you're actually showering, you will have to use the shower head hand hold because it's got this trigger release. But perhaps the biggest downside is this one tiny fixed roof vent. Might take a while for the steam to dissipate after a shower. So the kitchen's great, the bathroom's okay, and the spec is pretty comprehensive. But ultimately, this is what you'll be buying this V-Line for, a spacious, comfortable rear lounge. And this, remember, is a two-person motorhome. There's no rear travel seats. Now at the back here, this settee is 6 foot long, that one's 5'9", so plenty of room to kick your shoes off and stretch out. But what you get more than anything else is space and this wonderful view out of the back with the back doors flung open. Both tables share the same leg, which is stored in the wardrobe. And also in the wardrobe is this nice little round table, perfectly sized for, well, I've been on my Jack Jones doing this test, and for me, one person having a meal, that was perfectly adequate. For two, coffees, snacks, nibbles, fine. And the other one comes from just behind the driver's seat, and then you have perfectly adequate for two people to have a proper dinner. Maybe even you can invite guests in, or a game of cards when you've got friends around, whatever. That is as big as you'd want in this size of motorhome. The only downside is that it's not freestanding, obviously, so you're going to have to carry either a tripod base or a separate table to use outside. Storage is pretty good, thanks in part to these top lockers, all with hidden catches underneath. There's a good selection of those. And then the thing I really like, underneath the wardrobe, you've got 3 large drawers, ideal for your folded clothes. And then under the settees, not so much on this side because you've got the leisure battery and the Truma combi boiler under there, but on this side there's plenty of room. Now in this case I've got all my bedding under there, double duvet, 2 pillows, and there's still room. If you wanted to use that space for chairs, and there's access at the end of the unit to load the sort of stick type chairs from outside, then you could rehouse your bedding in the shelf over the cab. Now another plus of this type of layout is the ease of bed making. If you want single beds, then you just take the backrest cushions away, but if you want a double, that's pretty simple too. Just pull out these 2 supports for their own legs, nice and easy. Probably your best option. Sleep either way round, whichever you prefer, and then access in and out of the bed is quite easy without disturbing your partner. Alternatively, sleep across the van, because this way the bed is 6'1". Now there are longer beds in transverse situations in the back of Fiat Ducatos, because here Auto Trail have panelled it out rather than following the contours of the side of the van. And the other thing you'll notice is that these sections of backrest cushion, whichever way around you sleep, those are fixed, so they do get in the way a little bit. If the one thing that's been stopping you downsizing from your big coach built to a van conversion was fridge size, well, the V-Line now has an answer to that. It's also got all the things that we've liked about the model in the past. This nice comfy rear lounge, nice modern looking interior finish, and some new touches like the latest fabric and the ambient lighting. Best of all though, it still looks pretty good value at 52 grand.